Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. Many thanks from Greg on his birthday wishes. You made his day so special. So many lovely, lovely messages and notes and shout outs for his birthday. Thank you so much for doing that for him. Mwah! The kisses from me. So today is sewing machine day. Yes, our best friend in our studio space. Here is my Baby Lock Solaris. That is my man machine, my man girl. But I also have a quilt to show you. So this is my Let's Go Sew. I love this pattern so much. It is an applique pattern. I had so much fun designing it, and there you go. The link to it is down below and at my website today. It is in my digital store. So super cute, super fun to hang, and a nice size to hang in your space. All right, we have behind me, yes, we do. This is the giveaway quilt for when we reach 100,000 subscribers. Subscribing to my YouTube channel is free. All you do is click the subscribe button and then click the little bell, which will also let you, get notifications, remind you when a new video is out. But this is the quilt I'll be giving away to one of our friends when we hit 100,000. We have gone over 97,000. So that means this is a really cute little wall hanging that Marie sent me. See, it's got the YouTube symbol. This is my own little numbering system, and she sent me new numbers. So she sent me this little case, which has the numbers in it. So I will take off the 6. And I've got double-sided tape on there. And in here is the number 7. Okay, there we go. We're at 97,000. So there we go. Right now, it would be nice if more people subscribed so we could just, give this away. We get there's between like 950 to 1,000 and so that subscribe every month. So it's a slow process here at YouTube to get people to subscribe. We're getting there, just 3,000, well, less than 3,000 more, and I will hit 100,000 and I will give away this beauty. Now this quilt was actually done for my friend Michelle Muska's book. So here is the book. It is a fabulous book. The link is in the description box down below under the video and at my website. What it does is she gave a group of us designers, she paired us up, and one made a traditional version of a style of a quilt, and then one made a modern version. So I had the log cabin, and then when you go to log cabin chapter, it opened, like here she has the Jackie Garrigg's quilt, which was my partner, and she did a modern log cabin. And then Michelle did a little history and inspiration of some log cabin quilts. And then there's both the patterns. And I'll show you the full picture of Jackie's since you're seeing mine. There is Jackie's quilt. Isn't that fantastic? Look at that. So cool. Just the coolest thing. So I am loving the fact that somebody will have this and have it in their home. Now the backing, we just whip it around here. So you can see I did some of the blocks here and then strips. Okay. So the other things we have today are Scrappiness is Happiness. This is kind of the end of that. So I have, well, first of all, I am not doing the pieced border. The pattern that came for the Sew Along has a piece backing. I'm not doing the piece backing, but there is a pattern for piece backing, which you can do. So I will just be using a wide back for mine. But I'm going to walk through and show you what I did with the border cutting, just to give you an idea of how I approached it. So let's take a look. Okay, so let's first talk about Scrappiness is Happiness. The idea is to put a border around it. That is what the pattern has for this sampler. And I made notes, but I just went and got my notes, and I'm looking at them, and I'm thinking, what the heck? So I've been studying them here for a few minutes before I started filming, because I thought, do I share this part with you or not? Do you care? But yeah, you can make notes. I think it's fabulous to make notes. What I did was do some measurements across the width so that I knew that the top, the middle, and the bottom, what was going on. They are different sizes, but they're a little bit shifted, which happens, I think, with a really large quilt. It's hard to be 100% accurate. So I end up just sort of finding a middle ground and then using that so I can either pull something or ease in if it's too long, pull really tight if it's just a little bit short. And then I've got to have some little side borders, and then the top and bottom. So I apparently, see, this is the perils of doing this and then not writing full notes for yourself, and then it being like, 5 or 6 days before you pick it up again to do it. So apparently I'm going to add a 1 inch on either side, and then do the 4 inch on the top and bottom, because I'm including the 1 inch in my width. So I've got I'm cutting at 1.5 for the 1 inch on the side by 74, and 4 inch, then top and bottom will be wider at 4 inch by 79 1/4. And that's what I figured out for my quilt, because I do really believe that when you're at this point at the end and you have your own quilt, and you've got to take the measurements of your piece, the pattern tells you mathematically, like if you sewed every seam 1,000%, perfect, and not 100% perfect, 1,000% perfect, because the more pieces you have, your quilt grows and things change. Even if you're measuring, it can still be a little bit off, or if you forgot to measure something. But anyway, the bigger the quilt, the more chance there is some variance. It is not a mathematical puzzle piece anymore. It's kind of a living, breathing fiber unit. So you measure your own and figure out what you have to do for your quilt to make those final borders work. So I am going to cut some thin strips for the side, because I really don't want it any wider. I just want to lock the edges in. So like these seams and stuff like I've talked about, just put a tiny little border on there so that everything is firm. All those seams are covered with another little strip around the outside. Then the top and bottom ones I will put on. So I had to buy more fabric because I use sashing fabric, and the background fabrics were the same for me versus the pattern. So I needed more fabric, which I have now. So, and way more than I need, but that's good. I'll just put it in my stash because I love this blue, and I'm sure I will use it again for something else. Okay, I will now cut the strips and sew it on, and probably talk to you a couple times here before I get it done. Woo, here we go. First thing I did was just do a evening up trim before I get started, and then depending on how many of these cuts I will go across, I will even up again maybe after 3 or 4, because your ruler and you as a person might slide a little bit, and I want it to be a straight cut. So this is just a shoring up, and now I will cut the strips. I'm cutting 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 2 per side, 2 and 2 for the sides. And when I do the wider strip, I will do the same. There will be extra. I will just cut it up for my 2.5 inch squares, or these will go in the scrap bag. Short up a little bit again. Now that I'm did a bunch of strips for the skinny, I'm doing the wide ones, and I'm now nice and straight. So I always get questions on like borders in particular. Do I sew them with the angle, so the seam is an angle like this, or do I sew them straight across and the seam is just vertical along like that? I usually sew skinny ones at the angle. I don't know why. It's because I do it for binding. It's probably just a habit. The wider one I will sew straight across like this, because first of all, I'm trying to squeeze, so I don't have to cut a fifth one out of the fabric. I don't want to cut a fifth wide one. I think if I just am very frugal, do it right at the edge here of the selvage, and then I will sew it where I can see this white, the white one on the top, and I will sew right at the edge. That way it will use all of the fabric, because I think I need most of it for using just 2 pieces to go across the top and the bottom. But we'll see. We'll see when I actually sew it and then measure it out. Oh, I forgot to say, you use less fabric. You're much more frugal. and save your fabric if you do it like this than if you do a diagonal. A diagonal will waste some fabric and take some space. So you will get, have less usable space. So here. So the borders are on here. I'm going to take it out and put it on the clothesline. Here it is. Do you remember when I hung it before without the border, it didn't drag, but now, with another 6 inches on it, ooh, a little bit of wind, having a little bit of a breeze today, which feels really good. It's a beautiful day here in Northern Virginia while I'm doing this. So let's take you in, look close. So there's that extra, there's the wide border on the top, and then the skinny border I added on the side. So I have enjoyed making this quilt immensely. This was so much fun. Remember, I switched out. That was a sewing machine block. I put in the leaf. I just loved working with these colors and these fabrics. The background is by my friend Bev McCulloch. And then the fabric line, the majority of the fabric line, the base that I worked with, Fat Quarter Bundle, was also Bev's fabric line. So all that information is at my website on the project page. I Love to Make Quilts on the project page. And her book, the Lori Holt's book rather, was the Scrappiness is Happiness. All of the patterns are for full quilts. So just take a look at that. Okay, it's a wrap. Well, it has to go to the spa still, but the top is done. Hey, it matches my Sloan Zone t-shirt, doesn't it? The blue? Okay, so this is done. This is done. Today is also our Haunted Halloween Day. It is block 2, part 2. And there's next week will be the 3rd and final pattern, and then the 4th week will be the layout for the Haunted Halloween. So it's a mystery. So first let me just show you what's already been done. Okay, let's pop over to the other side. So here are the colors that I already did for the Haunted Halloween from the Tiny Frights fabrics. Now the fabric will be in eventually. It's not in yet in the store. I got the fabric from the manufacturer, but I'm making mine with the Tiny Frights. And so this week is the kitty block. So cute. So I have to decide from my fabric which, because so I just have to pick one fabric. I think is it. That's all that the original is done with. I don't think I want to change it. I mean, I could do maybe the ears. Let's take a look. Could do the ears in another color or something like that, but I'm thinking maybe we'll just keep it easy, keep it simple. Okay, so we've got the cat. You can see the cat here, and I have in this line, there's white. Well, it's a white background. This is my background. So I'm really not using the white fabrics. I could do a yellow kitty. This is the one yellow I have left. I've already used these yellows for the stars. Not that I'm saying I couldn't do like a yellow cat out of something like this, which I could because I really like that. Those roses, where is that in here? I'd have to see. I mean, there's not a lot that was used. There's also the yellow bats. So I mean, if I wanted to do a yellow cat, I could if there was enough from cutting the star, which there probably is. I don't think I want a bat. I don't think I want a cat out of that one. But this would be a really pretty cat if I decided to do a yellow cat. I don't really want a purple cat or a pink cat. I don't want a purple. I mean, I don't want an orange cat. So we're kind of down to black or yellow. And it's a mystery, so you don't know what the other components are. But I do know that I have an orange moon already. I don't want an orange cat. Oh, I just said that already. I put a little pops of purple here. Yeah, for those of you who love purple, you could do a purple cat. That would be super cute. Okay, if I did yellow and I could get enough, I would use this yellow. So let's just sort of put the yellow to the side here, over there. So if I'm going to do black, not the candy, not the bat, not the owls, but I love this. I love that one. And it's kind of gray, so it's not the black. Okay, so here's black. So here's like a black cat, but then here's like a gray cat. So I'm really, really loving this one. And it has these little ears. So I mean, I could do the ears, I could do the tip of the tail, maybe in black mushrooms for the ears. I don't know. I'd have to audition that. But I could do just a little black on the tip of the tail and these eyeballs for the cat. So I'm kind of liking this gray cat. Oh, here's two other options. So this has too much pattern for this shape. I don't want to use that one. And then once again, here's the, this doesn't appeal to me to have the tombstones for the cat. So I'm looking at these two, or if I wanted a yellow cat. So I think I'm going to go with the gray. I'm going to go with the gray cat, and then I'll take an audition for the ears. So let me get cutting that. So here's the cat before I've sewn it together. Remember, there's seam allowances that'll happen, so that neck won't look quite as big. It'll be like more like that. So there we go, and it'll be matched up, There we go, like this, and down and up below. But I've got some hacks that I'm thinking of. Let me just push that under because it makes it look weird when it's not sewn. Okay, so what I'm thinking of is making the collar a different color. Rather than the neck, have like a little collar, and it would look like this, which I think is really cute. And then I thought, well, what if I soften the jawline here? And I took 1 inch, which is smaller than anything you've done on the other sewn flips, 1 inch sewn flips, which would just soften. And it's called snowballing. That's one term. You take corners and do sewn flips and make them a little bit softer. So there you go. So I'm thinking that, remember down here, this will be up like that. So isn't that cute? He's so darling. So darling. Okay, I'm gonna do these hacks. 1 inch squares, and then that's not a hack. I'm just changing the color so it's a little color like a collar. The kitty turned out so cute. So I cut 1 inch squares and did a little snowballing to just soften the line of the face. And then I changed the neck to not be the cat fabric, but to be a contrasting fabric. So like a little collar or a little, whatever you want to think of it as. So darling. Let's see them together. So I used a purple that was the same as the 1 star for the cat. So there we are. There we are. Oh, it's coming along. It's coming along. All right. Well, since I was taking pictures of the Scrappiness is Happiness outside, I also just got back from the spa, from the Long Armor, my block a day, my March block a day, the project that we did, my very pink quilt. So let's take a look at that on the line. The Block Wednesday came out so cute. It's very pink, lots and lots of pink, but let's go close because I used my Promise Me for the border and Sleepover for the teal, which I'll use that as a binding then. But look at the different fabrics. Got some teacups and this pretty window fabric that I love. The llamas, which came from one of you friends. Some dressmaker print. We've got parrots and chocolates. So I went through a lot of my own stash, finding lovely things that I own, fun fabrics. This was one of you, When Pigs Can Fly. So cute. And I have quite a few of these Paris fabrics from Michael Miller. And the lobsters. I bought this a while back and it was so fun. It's the first time I've used it. There we go with some rabbits in there and ice cream cones. I love the ice cream cones. And I love this piece of fabric, pink and orange. Then we've got some kitties down here, the pineapples, word text, the tomatoes, so darn cute. The turtles, I do love the turtles. Love, love. See, I have so many in here. Whoops, I've got to get it. There, got a little bit of a breeze still. The milk cartons. And then down below there is one of our Australian friends sent me this print from Australia. And a map fabric from the Paris Flea Market fabric line, right next to some Paris fabric and some London cabs. Tootsie Rolls, and I believe that was also a gift. The little pandas, look at them. And this one is has like all kinds of scenery in it, like a little tree with all kinds of things on it. The swan, no, the ducks. These are geese or something. And then the undies. Oh, so good. It's all so good. I really, really enjoyed making this. This was our block a day for March. Every March I do a block a day quilt along, just to sort of wrap up the winter and go into spring. Well, I forgot to show you the backing while I was out there. So here's the backing that I used. It was some fabric that I've had for a while, and I had enough of it, and I thought it was nice to have like a softer contrast to all that kind of intense pink on the front, to have the back, to have the back with something a little bit softer. I don't know, that was my thought anyways. I like it. I like it. Okay, so today we're getting there. We're getting there. So be sure you are subscribed. Be sure you share with your friends. If they love quilting as much as you do and love to hear and talk about it and be inspired to quilt more, then I hope you will have them join us here at my YouTube channel. And you're going to be making your cat. Yes, yes, yes. So sweet. And finishing your Scrappiness is Happiness. Whoops. Here we go. Here it is. Got to finish it up. It's going to have to get ready to go to the spa as well. Plus, share any sewing machine quilts you have. Quilts with sewing machines. Bonus if you made my Let's Go Sew. Yeah, bonus points. Did I get you anything? No, no. You just know. It's just the honor of knowing you got bonus points. All right, my friend. I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.